Showtime, and welcome in, everybody. It is 3 guys before the game. All 3 present and accounted for. We got a guest for you, Sean Covich, WVU golf coach. We'll chat with him, get an update on the Mountaineer golfers and more. Spring football Saturday, we'll preview, talk about that, and of course, we got a lot of textual healing. We only did, we haven't been on for like 8 or 9 days. So a lot of healing needs to go through, stories and stuff like that. So thanks so much for being with us. 3 guys before the game brought to us by the Burdett Camping Center. Happened to be the only warranty-free forever RV dealer in the state of West Virginia. Brad, did you know they are having their 46th anniversary sale as we speak? It lasts Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd.
Which means what? What's the deal? What's the best deal?
Well, I'll tell you what it does. A gazillion. There's a little bit more than a trillion. A gazillion options on fifth wheels, travel trailers, campers, fit any size, family. For you, or, you're working away, you're working home, whatever you need. Burdett Camping sells your... Well, they sell the best. Basically, our guy Phil over there, he ready to wheel and deal it. Make him say no is the whole thing in this anniversary
So that's what you
sale.
need to know. Go over Friday, Saturday, just say, where's Phil? Phil, come out here.
I want it for this.
And let's go.
Do the deal.
Yeah.
Go find your new home away from home. Winfield, online, BurdettCamping.com. Tell them 3 guys sent you. 3 guys also brought to us by the Comax Business System, folks. What do? Keep West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. I believe there was a major outage globally, if I'm not mistaken, or at least nationally today. You got Comax. They're the kind of people that come in and go like, what's it? Yeah, got it. They take care of your data, safe, secure, and well, including business phone systems as well, from 1 line to 1,000. Comax Business Systems. Safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Don't let your personal data become public data. I guess that's a new tagline, isn't it? Don't let your private data become public data.
Did you just make that up, or is that on the sheet?
No, it just actually came in my head. Like, you don't want that stuff public. Like, call them up. Manage your IT for you remotely. They got it. 3 guys also brought to us by Gomart.
Could have used that at the Pentagon.
Yeah, they had a couple situations there. Yeah. Gomart right now. Go to gomart.com/3guys. Gomart.com/3guys. Sign up for their rewards card. $500 gift card, all kinds of stuff, just like literally tons of stuff. And more on that coming up later in the program. We've got some Reese Cup peanut butter distribution.
Is it here?
Chart.
Oh.
And by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans.
So you don't have product with you?
Brad jumped on that.
I thought you came in with product.
By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. What do? They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com.
By the way, today would be a day we're recording on Thursday. You could be out today on the pontoon.
Oh, yeah.
Approaching 90 by the end of the day.
Oh, I know. Absolutely fantastic.
Good day for a pontoon hop when it gets near 90.
It's also a good day to...
It would be a good day.
It's also a good day to play a few rounds of golf.
It would
Could
be
do
nice
that, too.
today.
You could play a few rounds of golf today.
Yeah.
Let's please
36.
Play 36 today. Yeah.
I just said that.
Please welcome in the head coach of the West Virginia University Mountaineers, Sean Covich. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm well. Pretty nice weather today, huh?
Yeah, now that our tournament's over with, and my famous saying to our guys is, if you want bad weather, schedule a golf tournament. Pretty much guaranteed.
Words to live by.
Yeah, really. It was cold.
Had guys in stocking caps out there earlier. Right now it's 90.
I know. It's been a weird week weather-wise. I mean, it was like really nice last week. Then it got stupid for a little bit, and now it's going to be super nice, and then it's going to get...
And that's right when Sean tried to do his golf tournament.
It's April.
Come on, coach, your Mountaineers.
Yeah.
You got
Well, yeah.
Come on.
It was. We did have the Mountaineer out there too for the greatest shotgun start in college golf, which is pretty cool tradition. We started in 2015, I believe, fall of 15, and the Mountaineers come out there every year and fire the musket to get this tournament started, and that's pretty cool. I mean, it was windy, it was cold, it was overcast, but it's just a tradition we have, and all the other teams are distracted by it, which we like that.
Yeah.
But it's very loud on that first tee box.
That is a great tradition. She should have fired a few more times when Oklahoma State was putting.
Yes, and everything they did.
Yeah. Well, they're good.
They're pretty good.
And they're pretty good.
That would be a nice home course advantage there.
It would.
Just shoot it every time they're getting ready to
putter,
Just a
backstroke.
couple times, just sprinkle it in liberally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mary, I know Mary the Mountaineer. She's getting ready to hang it up. She probably wouldn't mind just firing that thing, in backstroke situations. Be pretty good. Pretty good. So how are you, man? Everything good?
Well, it's always a relief when you have your home event, behind you. It's a lot of work. We spend a whole year kind of planning it, and it's ironic I'm talking to you, Tony, because I'm trying to get you to be our announcer and starter on number 1 tee next year. So I'm already planning for next year.
Yeah, he did. He emailed me yesterday and said, "Hey, I know this is a little ahead of schedule." He said, "Would you mind?"
Not for you.
No, would you?
No, you like to have things about 2 years in advance.
Yeah,
You need things planned.
That's normally how I work.
Sure.
Hoppy, I work either schedule a year ahead or 6 seconds.
That's about right.
Any of the two that fall.
Now this is like Sean. He's going to be on there saying now on the first tee. He's going to give you all that?
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
Now on the first tee, or I prefer like ladies and gentlemen, this is the 8:07 starting time.
Oh, good.
Now on the tee, representing Oklahoma State in player's name.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I like to kind of do a little variant. I'll totally go off your tempo.
Sean, hold on. Sean, here you go. Now here's what you get with him. Now it's probably going to be good, but he's going to want to play. He's going to want to say what he wants to say, even though yours is better.
Can I say their last name twice?
No, I don't think so.
Wait a second. Now teeing off in the 8:07 tee off, representing West Virginia University, Hoppy Kercheval. That's pretty nice, isn't it?
No.
Don't like
no,
it.
That's out.
Don't
I'll
do
have
it.
the script. I'll have the script.
Oh, script. He doesn't know what a script is. Does not know what a script is. Sean doesn't know.
By the way, Coach, there might be a slight honorarium also.
Can you give me a couple of tees? Just give me a couple. That's all I want is a couple of tees.
Oh, yeah.
Sean thought he was doing something good here. Get Tony in to do. He had no idea what he just walked into.
Yeah.
Oh, and the rider with the M&Ms. No red M&Ms, no. Hey, I'm looking at your bio here, dude. We're coming up on a decade. A year from now, it'll be 10 years.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Says here, May 22 of 2014, unless that was your first communion. Yeah, you've been here since, right?
Wow. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's weird. Sometimes it feels like we just got here and we still are, still trying to build this program, in some regards. And then some ways, heck, Keenan, our about to be 11-year-old, all he has known is Morgantown, West Virginia,
right.
Which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I mean, it's weird. It has been a decade, but when you're starting a program from scratch, it still feels kind of new. And, it's been a wild ride so far.
What was your evaluation of how y'all performed at Pete Dye this week?
I was disappointed because we prepared more and as well as we ever have because the change in our schedule and the change to April, we had about 2.5 weeks at Pete Dye, pretty much just playing every tournament scenario we could. We the golf course superintendent was so cooperative and just like, hey, where do you want the holes? Where do you want the tee markers? And we set it up just like the tournament. And so we were able to get down there a lot, saw a lot of good things in preparation. But when it came time to execute, we just didn't do it. And it wasn't that we weren't prepared. It wasn't that we don't have talent. We just, sometimes in golf, it's hard to explain, but like you just don't have it that particular day. And so that was kind of frustrating. But at the same time, big picture, we started 2 freshmen, we started 2 sophomores, that had never really been in a lineup for our home event ever before. So 4 of our 5 had never started at home. So they were a little anxious, a little excited. And I think now that we got that behind us, we just met with one of the freshmen and had a good talk. So trying to learn from, our mistakes. And I think we'll be a lot better next year because of going through that.
How Can you see it? I mean, can you sense it? Let's say a guy, starts out and he does, par, bogey. I mean, can you sense that something's off, or you think, okay, they'll get it back on 4 or 5, or what are you thinking as this thing evolves?
Yeah, I think when you see it both ways. So, for example, the first round, I went out with Todd Duncan, a West Virginia native, first start at home ever. He struggled last year, so I wanted to go out there with him. He got off to a good start, so I felt like we embraced the conditions, and we knew it was going to be hard. So Todd was patient early. He made a good par on 1. He actually hit a horrible drive on 2, and was very quick to say, okay, I just need to look at par. If I make bogey, like, it's not a big deal. And he kind of eased into the round, and he made a bogey. And he was like, hey, it's going to be a battle all day. It's going to be a grind. And then he made back-to-back birdies. And so that, I felt like he was in a good spot. On the other end, when you see some other guys that are maybe a little bit older, been in a lineup, just doing uncharacteristic stuff, like things you just don't see in qualifying, things you don't see in practice, you get that sense of, okay, he's like uncomfortable, or he's anxious, or he's trying to force things. And it's tough, like when in golf, once things start to go sideways, you try to force things, that makes it worse. And I think that's kind of what happened to some of our guys. So yeah, you do get a sense when you see things that are not characteristic of how they normally act or shots they normally hit, something's off. And it's you can't call a timeout in golf. You can't make a substitution in golf.
Hey, you're out. Get in there.
I mean, Huggs can complain all he wants, but I don't get any timeouts, right? So we just got to live with that for 2 days, with no timeouts. So anyhow, that's kind of some of the things you notice.
It's really remarkable, Tony, there. You mentioned Sean's been here almost 10 years. Have you had an opportunity to sit back and think about what these 9, almost 10 years have been like? Because it's a heck of a project you undertook here, restarting this program in the best golf league in America, and how far this program has come, or are you too much in the day-to-day weeds right now to be able to reflect it all?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just try to try to work hard and prepare, like, for the next day, the next week, the next month. So I really, as a coach, you're constantly planning ahead. You're as I told you guys, I'm always thinking about next year for our home event, how to make it better. And recruiting, in the transfer portal. So it's, when you're a coach, you're constantly living in the future. You're always ahead and trying to make the path easier for your guys, or get them where they need to be. So it is difficult to look back and go, man, I remember when I didn't even have an office here. We didn't even have a golf ball. We didn't have a golf bag. We had nowhere to practice or play. We didn't have a home tournament, didn't have players. And that almost seems like a different lifetime ago. I think once we got into year probably 3 or 4, we felt like just kind of a normal program. And so the years of building the program and not having anything here in that first year or 2 almost feels like a different lifetime ago. I almost feel like a different person from that time to now. But I don't really like reflect a whole lot, because I'm just trying to make us better for, next week at Big 12 and then next season.
You mentioned the transfer portal. We talk about it obsessively.
Every day.
Obsessively, right? And the major football, basketball deal. And I think our listeners would find it interesting to know that you also are dealing with it. What has it done to the game of golf collegiately? What has it done to you specifically at West Virginia?
Well, when it came on board, it was kind of right. I think the first season it was officially out there. It might have been the COVID year, which was kind of interesting. Nobody saw that coming. But I think there might have been like 6 golfers in the entire portal, like in the fall of 2019. And then in the spring of 2020, there were over 300, after COVID hits. And
right.
It seems like it's been wild ever since that time frame. Initially, we did have 2 guys during COVID, which we didn't even know if we were going to play golf that next season, if, what the future held. 2 guys that went, to other schools. But other than that, we have not had one kid, transfer since 2020, April 2020. So, and likewise, we've looked at the portal. We've had some kids, visit. But so far we've been, making our living off of high school kids, developing them, and really trying to protect our culture more than anything else. But now, there's certainly opportunities, and I'm not gonna lie, we're very, very interested in some transfers, and they can make a huge impact if it goes our way and they show up next August. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's just part of recruiting now. You look at it just like you do, high school seniors and juniors and sophomores. For us, I mean, I'm not looking for a kid to come in and, that's just not happy after 1 year. Like that grad transfer, a kid that only has 1 year left, like that's more intriguing to me than a kid that's, not getting playing time out in Arizona. Well, if you're not happy out there, you're not going to be happy up here because it's a lot colder, So I'm looking for a kid that wants to, maybe at a smaller school that's really done well, that wants that big competition.
Coaches talk all the time. What do you think the largest amount of money that a collegiate golfer is currently making in NIL?
Well, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, make me feel good. Guess. Fair question, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
50,000, and it could be 100,000. I don't know. Schools like Texas, schools like in Oklahoma State could probably answer that. But yeah, I really don't know.
Now, you're telling me when you guys get around, the other day, Oak State's over there teeing off. Like, you don't go over with someone that's not the Oak State staff, and you guys don't go like, can you frickin' believe frickin' Oak State's paying that? That doesn't happen.
It's a gentleman's game. I mean, we're there to –
Don't give me that gentleman. Don't give me that gentleman's game. Hoppy, you buying his?
That was a nice comeback, though, by him. He gave you a gentleman's game there.
That's how they always run away.
That's pretty good,
cautious.
John.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's how they always run away from that stuff. So you don't think it's a big deal then, as far as the dollars go?
Not right now.
Okay,
no,
that's cool.
I mean, it is a factor. It definitely is a factor, and it's, but I think it's more when you think about golf, like we only have 4.5 scholarships for 9 or 10 guys. So I think it's more kind of matching another scholarship or two than it is, here's $250,000 or here's $100,000. It's more, hey, we don't have scholarship money, but here's the equivalent of getting in-state tuition or whatever in supplementing kind of your recruiting that way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the Big 12 championships are coming up April 24th, 25th, 26th. I'm reading here at Prairie Dunes Country Club in Kansas. You do come in as a 10 seed. Tony, when they start, they have a 9:30 Central Time. Yeah. Tea time, I believe.
Yeah, Central.
What time?
Well, they have 9:30 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Did they list Eastern there? Because there are those of us in the Eastern time zone that would like to follow this and watch. Did they list the Eastern time zone, or do I just need to do the translation again?
Here's what's interesting. I'm looking at it, and they did put Eastern time, but only on the West Virginia matchup.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just they can't help themselves.
But anyway,
because there's no other fans in the Eastern time zone that may want to know that.
Yeah.
But Coach, realistically, that's a big hill to climb in that tournament. What are realistic expectations for those couple of days?
Well, just like our home event for Big 12s, we will start, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 1 junior. So only one guy has ever played in the Big 12 championship. Only one guy's ever played Prairie Dunes. So, considering that, again, this year has been about gaining experience, making sure we're establishing the right culture and really building towards, next year. These guys come back bigger, stronger, and wiser, hopefully. So, the expectations are to stick with our routine, make sure we're doing all the little things right, have a good mindset, and see what happens. I'm not going to say if we finish, X, Y, and Z, then that's a success. It's really about, did the guys do everything we asked them to do? Did we give ourselves a chance to play good golf? Did we prepare the right way? Did we kind of keep a good perspective out there? and, see what happens. And knowing that all our starters are coming back next year is exciting for me, because this is a really talented group. It's a competitive group. It's just we're young and inexperienced, and it just takes time. Just like with Mark Getz, he never really started his freshman or sophomore year, but by the time he was a junior, he turned out to be pretty good, and that's kind of what we're resetting towards that for the next few years.
Are you philosophically, are you a grip it and rip it guy, or are you keep it in play, score on the holes where you can score, don't get ahead of yourself?
It depends. It depends on the hole. We just try to strategize based on hole location and wind direction and the strength of the player. Some guys, have that aggressive mindset. Some guys are more conservative. Some guys are good wedge players. Some guys are good drivers. So it's very individual. But I never try to hold back a player. But if I know it's just not a smart play, then we're not going to do that. But that's literally like one hole out of 18 that I say, okay, we're going to play it this way. The other 17, you can do what you want. But this hole, I'm telling you, it's a flashing red light. So let's be very cautious here.
You mentioned walking with Todd the other day, or you went off with Todd to start. I think people would be interested in this. How do you do that during a tournament? Are you with every guy at some point? Are there some guys you just let go? How do you handle the event coaching part of this?
Well, I think it starts in qualifying. So something we did this year, before each qualifying round, my assistant and I, we draw a name out of a hat. And that player for each round, we're going to go walk with that player. We're going to coach him just like we would in the tournament. And we start to build that relationship and start to get to know their games really well. And so over the course of 9, qualifying rounds leading into a tournament, we've pretty much walked with every player at least one time. So when we get to the tournament, we kind of know who likes help, who doesn't need that much help. And we leave it up to the guys. Some guys say, hey, coach, would you mind walk with me tomorrow? Perfect. Well, I'll walk with them the entire round. Some guys say, hey, would you mind kind of just get me off to the start, and then I'll be good, first 6 holes. And some guys want help on par 3s. So that's kind of how we do it. It seems to, certain guys, I would say like Todd or Max Green want a lot of help, and then guys like Jackson Davenport just need help on par 3s. So it's kind of up to the player.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like kids, right? Like you parent your kids differently, knowing that some deal with this form better than that form, and that's the coaching of it, right? You know who to whisper to, and you know who to bark at.
But it's just such a different sport where Hugs is watching all 5 guys doing the same thing, although they have different roles. Sean's got multiple guys on different parts of the court, right, or field, lack of a better term there to relate it to football or basketball, and everybody takes it a little bit different. That's like 5 or 6 individual coaching jobs, not one during a game, so to speak.
Plus, he's not probably not using the same technique as Hugs.
No, hopefully not.
Gentleman's game, Hop. Gentleman's game.
Well, that'd be interesting. That'd be just. I tell you what, Coach. Just in a preseason, you ought to get Hugs out there just to coach him up a little bit and see how
great golf coach.
How he handles it.
Hugs would be a great golf coach, I would think.
I don't know if it benefits like working the rules officials in golf. Like they're just like,
yes, that's it.
They're like, look, I'm 3 fairways over. I'm not even watching your crew, and you're over here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Just do that once. Just call a rules official over, go hat backwards, and just start getting after him.
Yeah.
Right? Just do it one time.
What kind of car path relief was that?
Yeah. Provisional ball.
Are you kidding me?
Provisional ball. Provisional ball. Yeah. Why don't you do that a little bit?
By the way, speaking of hats, I say this every time he's on. I don't know if people know this. There's not a more elite gear program at WVU than golf.
Well,
like Covich personally and team-wise.
Yeah, it makes
sense.
sense.
Are you picking all that out, or do the equipment manager do that? How hands are you on game day uniform stuff?
I'm very, very involved in the selection of our uniforms for the entire year. But I do let the low score from the previous tournament picks out what we wear for the next tournament.
No, that's neat.
So that kind of, it could be the same guy 4 weeks in a row, or it could be somebody different every time. But that's something kind of special. Like if you're the low guy, hey, you tell us what we're wearing. Now, obviously, I've selected all, options that we could choose from. But, golf, it's pretty cool. Yeah, we do have good gear, and it seems actually it's funny. The Oklahoma State coach I don't know if this was a slap in the face or not, but he said, he's like, hey, you do a really good job. And I thought, coaching, I was like, well, thank you, but no, he didn't say that. He goes, you do a really good job with your gear. He's like, you guys look really good. And I was like,
See?
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Is that patronizing? Is that?
Yeah, I didn't know how to
No,
take
I
that.
take that. Oklahoma State has good gear all the way around. Their teams, they have a lot of options. They have good gear. I'd take that as a high compliment.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think he was underhanded.
No, high, the big gear over there at Oklahoma.
Hey, listen, you ever take any crap from Oklahoma State, you just say, hey, look, we have a human mascot. Yours has a papier-mâché head. I just go straight. When you go, Brad, just go straight with that.
That's your attack.
Pistol Pete, I mean, it makes me uncomfortable when he comes up near me. He's got like a papier-mâché head. Just like it needs a little paint here and there. It's kind of like a little splotch. You're just like, I'm good.
You don't want to get too close?
I think it could scare the hell out of kids.
Creepy.
I think like little kids could become very scared by Pistol Pete. I really do.
It's a little odd.
I'm just saying, if you ever got up close to him, not good.
Well,
all due respect.
We have the best. We have the best mascot.
No question.
No
Terrific. Question.
Hey, let me ask you one last question. What's your handicap?
Right now, I mean, I'll tell you what. During COVID, it was down to like a 1.9. Like I was playing a ton of golf. I played, the West Virginia Open, the West Virginia Am, the Club Championship. Everybody's memory guest I could. But for some reason, Kate didn't talk to me much during that time.
Yeah,
so I thought, maybe I should be a dad and a husband. So anyhow, right now it's probably like a 3.9 or something.
What an embarrassment! What an embarrassment!
It is an embarrassment, and I'm getting shorter and shorter off the tee, and my team keeps getting longer and longer. So I just move up two tee boxes and keep it competitive.
Hey, last thing. If someone's listening in here and would like to specifically support the WVU golf program through NIL or however, how do they get a hold of you? How do they do this?
Well, I mean, obviously, Country Roads Trust and the MAC are two very important areas, and within the Mountaineer Athletic Club, we do have the gallery, which is what we call kind of our sports-specific funding.
Okay.
And that certainly helps. Or they can just come find me at Pete Dyer the Pines, probably. But listen, great. Anything can help out golf in a really important way because we have 9 guys, so anything that we get really helps out this crew. So thank you.
All right. Good deal, brother. Appreciate your time very much, and congratulations. Best of luck next week at the Big 12s, and we thank you, man.
Hey, we'll take all the luck we can get. Thank you,
right.
guys.
Good luck to you.
There he is, Sean Covich. Do you think a year from now when I'm the what do you call that?
Starter.
The starter, when I'm the starter, you think I might be able to get like a hat or something out of that deal?
Well, I don't know if you can. We'll talk before we get down there because I need one too.
Maybe
he needs to be on longer. I got more gear questions specifically. They have good stuff.
He always looks nice.
And they have different stuff too. It's not your normal stuff. He finds good stuff.
And their individual team pictures, they all got the Gordon Gee bow tie on.
Yeah.
Which is a nice touch. Tony, just play it straight as a starter.
No, I will. I would not jack around.
Don't jack around.
No. I will not jack around. Whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to do. Because he got really uncomfortable when I said that double name thing. Like he shouted that down really fast.
Here's the thing. Covich is buttoned up. He's got the thing a year in advance, right? So you don't screw around.
No.
You get it. He's going to have it for you. Take the script. See, he'd never take my script. My first year here, when I do, that's what I learned about him. My first year here, I was coming from a couple places where I had to be pretty scripted out with the announcements or, hey, we're going to do a presentation here. Here's what here I spent hours crafting it, writing it. Did it about twice with him. Like, here we go. So, Tony, I got a script here for you. We're going to do this presentation. And then the first couple I'm watching, I'm thinking, well, that's not what I wrote. That's not it. But it was really good, right? I mean, it's typical him. He didn't follow what he was supposed to, but it came off really well. So then we got to the point as I was there longer, I'd just say, hey, we're doing a presentation halftime. We're going to recognize the soccer team. They won the Big East. Best of luck. I'll see you. I'm going to be back in the concourse. Handle it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that Tony was inducted into the WAER Radio Sports Hall of Fame this week, and that is an extreme honor because of all the fantastic announcers who have been through WAER in Syracuse. The list is long. And I listened to your speech, Tony, and it was 14 minutes.
Was it?
14 minutes. 14 might have been 14:30. But it was delivered, you touched a lot of bases. It was delivered flawlessly, like ahs, ands. And I could tell it was not scripted but you had thought out what you were going to say, and it was delivered. It was very well done. Very well done. You did not have a script, correct?
I had 2 pages of script, and I never looked down at it.
Really?
I just got up there, and I just kind of felt, okay, let's go.
Well, but you were prepared.
I had points in my head that I wanted to hit.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah.
It was well done.
That's
not easy to do.
Took a shot from my brother-in-law afterward.
Reason?
Said I didn't mention Joan by name. I specifically mentioned family, the importance of family.
Yes.
But I guess I didn't say Joan.
No, you didn't.
But I mean, I think.
Is that true? He did not?
He did not. He mentioned my name and didn't mention Joan's name.
That's a problem. There it was.
So my brother-in-law, he had to stick that one in there. And Joan didn't even know that I had not mentioned her name. Had he just shut up, it would have been totally good that I got.
So he crushed you. He didn't help you.
Well, Joan is nodded. She had nodded off earlier.
Yeah, I'm
halfway through the speech. Yeah. She's heard it before. Congratulations to you, Tony. Very well deserved.
Thank you very, very much. Your name was mentioned throughout, Hoppy. People know your name up there as well.
No, I counted once.
So, no, I mean during the course of the day, because we spoke at the student radio station earlier in the afternoon. And Scott McFarland of CBS
was he
News,
there?
no, but his name, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I said to those guys, I said, that's McFarland who did the feature on Hoppy for CBS News. And Sagar Magani, who was there, said, what? He said, McFarland did a feature on Hoppy? And I go, yeah. He goes, why do I not know this? And I said, he goes, I'm watching it tonight. And I said, great. Sagar was very excited by that.
I haven't seen it. How's he doing?
Sagar's doing fantastic.
Still with AP Radio?
Yes, he is.
Wow. That has to be like 15 years.
Oh, no, more than that.
Really?
Oh, I think it's upwards of 20 now. Yeah.
Are we on the air now? Or we just
No, we're just talking.
We're recording.
We'll hit record here in a minute. Go ahead. You got anything else to say? Did you ever give Sagar Magani a Boston Beanery gift card for $5?
Probably. $10.
He's the best.
Oh, you gave Pash 5.
He's after.
It was 10. It was 10.
You know what?
It was enough to buy. It was enough to buy lunch or dinner at that time.
How about this one? Speaking of lunch or dinner, you know what Sagar told me?
Oh, I can't get the burger and fry. I'll just take the fries. Thank you.
How much overage is there?
So Jones says to Sagar, how many times have you flown on Air Force One? And Sagar said, a number of times. And he goes, the first time you do it, like, they give you the matches with the, Air Force, the whole thing. And he said, but one thing they do is when you're getting ready to land, they count all of the plates, all of the things that have that stuff on there. And the first thing they do is
you don't walk out with one?
And they count the media's assortment so that you're not walking out of there. I told, take an Air Force One plate out of there. He said, that's the very first thing that I learned. Very first thing that I learned. Like, you just take what they give you. You don't take anything that they don't give you.
That's good advice.
Yeah. 3 guys before the game.
We'll give you some Pentagon secrets. But you can't have a plate.
How old are you? 21? Yeah, we'll give you some secrets.
You got it.
3 guys before the game brought to us by the people that bring you family fun, Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Now, as Brad said earlier, I mean, is this pontoon boat season right now? Today you go out there and you just be great.
Be hot.
Lou Wendell features the Avalon pontoon boats, considered the best in America, and they're manufactured 100% right here in the United States. And we encourage you to check out the premier pontoon dealer in the state of West Virginia, LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's LouWendellMarineSales.com. Spring football, unfortunately, on Saturday, looks like it might be a little bit wet.
Not a pontoon day.
Unless you have your rain slicker on, 80 to 90% chance of rain. However, there's rain when it's cold, and that absolutely is no fun. It's supposed to be like 68, 69.
Shut up. You're going to be in the press box. Don't start saying, hey, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. You're going to be in the press box.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not.
You're going to sit in the rain?
I always do.
You're going to have a slicker on.
Spring game, I'm always in the stands.
Put a big slicker on.
I'm not going to the press box.
I need to talk to you about that.
Unless it starts raining a little bit harder than I
What do you mean you need to talk to him about it? About what?
Well,
you
were thinking of going?
You going to go with me?
You were thinking of going?
Well, I didn't want to invite myself to sit with you.
He'll sit with you.
Well, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, he can do that.
It's under discussion. It's been a big topic of discussion at the Kirchhoff household this week.
Karen, do you think I could ask Brad to go to the game with me? Yes, Hoppy.
Are you
Ask
afraid I'm going to
Brad.
yell at you? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you're like, you want to watch I want to watch the game too.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and yap at you. I mean,
I
would
watch
go with
every Mountaineer football game with you for the last decade. Why wouldn't we sit and watch the spring game together? We do it every Saturday. I watch the game with you.
I would go with him, Brad.
Right?
Because he's not.
Actually, of all the people I'm watching the game with, I'm probably most comfortable with you because that's what we do.
well, that's true.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's going to be Brad and Hoppy's excellent adventure. You guys are going to spend a lot of time together this weekend. Tomorrow we have the unveiling of Courchevel in cans, and it'll be fantastic. And while, unfortunately, it's going to be precipitatory on Saturday with rain, I just made that word up, precipitatory with rain. Tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of April,
Nice.
I mean to tell you, we're going to have an event of events. We're going to be here having a show, and then we're going to go across the street to the Apothecary Ale House. They have an outdoor area
nice.
that's fenced in that's beauty-icious. I mean, beauty-icious. And we're going to be out there. It's going to be the exact opposite of January 6th when it was too cold to go outside.
It was.
Plus, you got that barbecue cooking out there, that smell. Oh, that's going to be good stuff. That was a good picture you put out the other day. You put a picture of what his brisket looks like.
Yeah, he made that. You ate that.
I did eat that. It was excellent.
It's unbelievably good. So if by some weird chance you're still listening to this, there are some tickets that are still available. You can buy the number 3 guysbeforethegame.com, the number 3 guysbeforethegame.com. We'd love to have you. We're going to have fun.
Have you seen you probably haven't seen the cans yet, have you?
Yeah,
Oh, you
Tony
did?
sent it to me
Okay.
last
Yeah,
night,
they're
this
sharp.
morning.
They look good.
And you sent me the can. I sent it to my brother at like 5:50.
Brother Nick.
Brother Nick at 6 o'clock, and he said, "It's a little early to be drinking, isn't it?"
Well, it depends.
Yeah, you know,
It's
early,
always,
late.
right? It's
There's
always,
a little shot. There's the brisket right there. There it is.
Oh, man.
It's good.
It's
Hoppy,
so
you're going to
mo-
love the food's awesome.
I had
Beer
a-
will be great.
I had a bad brisket the other day.
Well,
Well,
this
this
won't
is
be.
gonna-
This won't be. This will change.
this
it.
is gonna be so-
This will fix it. This will
No.
fix
This
that.
will fix it.
Yeah.
This will
I
be
need
so
a repair.
good.
I need a repair because
This is going to be so good you want to change your name. They're just like you come in Monday, you're just going to go, my name is Brisket.
Speaking of gear, I heard a rumor there might be some gear available as well.
There is going to be gear available. Currently being previewed in my office. My office looks like
I saw
inside
it.
of fine-looking Phil's at Daniels.
You were out. I went in.
Very nice, isn't it?
That's very nice. Big selection.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
multiple pieces.
I don't know if all of that's going to be put out.
I know, but it's coming. Efforting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
This is the spring.
Collection.
Spring collection. Yeah, spring collection. It just got it back in from Milan. It was in Milan.
Men's line, women's line, multiple colors, multiple different pieces.
Was on.
Coffee cup.
Was probably shown at a show. Was right.
Yeah, it was. The women's line, some of that stuff is really, really nice. The hoppy thing. Hoppy hour. The hoppy hour stuff is really
And
super
that would
nice.
be because let's face it, we're mostly a guy show, not completely,
No.
but the heavy guy show is that the guys who are here take one back to the spouse. Like, I brought
Wouldn't
you
know why
something.
not. Yeah, wouldn't know why not. You'll be able to pre-order for those of you that are going to be here.
Can't wait. Should be a blast.
I also, so here's the deal. The cans of Courchevel, which are debuting Friday, they will be available this weekend at the Apothecary Ale House, Friday night after we're out, and then, Friday night after six.
After six.
After
Yeah.
6, available in can. Chestnut Brew Works, because I keep pointing because that's where it is. Chestnut Brew Works as well this weekend until supply is out. So if you're coming in for the game and you want to taste Courchevel out of the can or draft, Chestnut Brew Works, Apothecary Ale House. All right, spring game. This is a question with 2 parts.
Yep.
2 things. What do you want out of the spring game?
Hop, I'll give you the floor. We just talked about this on your coffee clutch. You go ahead.
Oh, I mean, the quarterbacks are the big story, and you're going to be limited because they don't want to show you much. I don't know what the format of the game is going to be, but the story is the quarterbacks. You want to see them. You want to see them throw. You want to see. I guess they'll be limited in running. Quarterbacks, and also. Is there somebody that can, do we have guys that can catch the ball? Is there a deep threat? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, so that's what we talked about this morning. I think I'm watching it. Listen, you're not going to walk out of there and be wowed by a whole lot that they're going to do because they are going to keep it pretty vanilla. They don't want to put a bunch out there. But I want to see enough from a couple of guys. Can the quarterbacks make a couple of throws that you say, okay, that's pretty good. The receivers, I think, is really important. Right? You want to see what you've got at receiver. I think that's a massive question mark, and I realize I'm not plowing new ground here. But, Tony, the other part of that, and I think it dovetails nicely, is it's the defensive backs as well, right? Those are, to me, are the three areas: quarterback, receiver, defensive back. Mm-hmm. You've got to be so much better in each of those areas, and you're not going to get a definitive answer coming up on Saturday, but you can start to see what's there, and maybe it's the defensive back part that shows the most improvement.
You know what is worrisome about that, though, is let's say a defensive back has 2 picks, and you go, wow, that guy looks pretty good.
And the quarterback's no good. The quarterback's no good. Don't have any receivers. Can't get a receiver open. So I think you're exactly right, and that we go through that every spring. Yeah. So you need to see it on both sides, right? You need to see a couple plays in the end zone that the D-back goes up, knocks it down. You need a couple others where the receiver goes up in the back of the end zone, makes a great play, and you get a little bit of both there, a little give and take. Yeah.
I just talked to Neil just a little bit ago. I said, what do you want? He said, I just want to see good football. I just want to see good football. And then he's got several guys who he just wants to see play well in a big, with people watching, including Jimmy Bell is going to be out there, and he'll, get his first taste of football since the 11th grade in front of people. Also interesting in scoring. They're going to use some XFL scoring where you can go for 1, 2, or 3 points. They're also, if you miss a field goal, they'll take the points off the board.
Really?
That's a good one.
They'll give them to the defense.
Yeah.
Well, good. Give the defense a chance to score.
Yeah. Well, trust me, it's the most wackiest scoring. I mean, it's just these spring games.
By the way, I like that, the extra point, what the XFL does.
Yep.
You like that a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Elam ending of football.
Yeah.
Of sorts. Just different scoring. You guys ready to do some healing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need to heal. He's gonna be there. You know that, right? He's gonna be there.
Saab in attendance.
Guy that made this song is gonna be there. For those of you that are coming to the event, is
he out on the patio mixing this, like a little live there, or he's just there in person?
I don't know if he's bringing
available for discussion and autographs.
He's going to available for discussion, available for autographs, available for pictures. Saab will be there. David Saab, who's made a couple of cracking hits. Yeah. Texter Larry writes in, I've had the pleasure of doing business in the Syracuse and surrounding areas, have several friends in the area appreciating good food. How do you rate Dinosaur Barbecue in the Syracuse area? You, Brad, and part-time Hoppy do a great job. Thank you for making us laugh. Once again, congratulations. Dinosaur Barbecue available in Rochester, Syracuse, Harlem, New York, and a couple of other locations. It's as good as top 5% of barbecue no matter where you go in the country.
Really?
Dinosaur Barbecue is big boy barbecue. Yes. Texter. Stephen in North Carolina, thank you very much. Congratulations on the WAER honor. I appreciate that. Signed by Stephen in North Carolina by way of Parkersburg, sadly without any land in West by God. Texter.
Stunning.
Hey, this is 3 guys. This is Danny down in Lewisburg. I had a couple of 20-ounce Kirchevels at the Briar Garden last night. Very good beer. Enjoyed listening to your show. Let's go, Mountaineers. There he is. Those are the 20. That's a big glass.
Oh, big
glass of beer. Texter. Here's an advance warning. This is a little preachy.
Uh-oh.
The Jordan McCabe interview should be mandatory listening for all Mountaineer fans. Listen to what this young guy went through as a human being. Do you know what else he probably had to put up with? Fans with zero perspective and class saying things to him on social media that they wouldn't say to a dog. Plain embarrassing. I know it happens everywhere, but I really don't care what happens at other places. Nothing in or about West Virginia is easy. Can't we all acknowledge that and hold ourselves to a higher standard instead of sinking to the lowest common denominator? I could go on and on about all of this, but I'll stop here. Sean from Raleigh. Texter, 3 guys. Hello!
By the way, go ahead. I'll do it.
Long-time listener, first-time texter. So I was listening to the Jordan McCabe episode and I could hear your confusion concerning how we came to the knowledge that Tony had no aspirations to be an astronaut. If my memory still is intact, I believe he was talking about how he felt he could become a top-tier auctioneer, elite, I think is the word that was used, at which point Hoppy or Brad in jest said they wanted to be an astronaut, At least that's how I remember it. I love the show. That's exactly what happened. Remember you said, I want to be an astronaut. I said, I have no aspirations to be an astronaut.
Well, I acknowledge that I was being flippant about that, and you have proven me wrong because you have been working diligently, and you're one of those guys. Don't get in a contest with Tony because he will sacrifice other things to prove you wrong, and he actually is perfecting his auctioneering skills, which we may see tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, my dog thinks I'm absolutely crazy. Now when I'm walking Charles Barkley, I practice with him. Right. Chuck, I'll give Chuck, we're going to do this now. Ready? And I start. Yeah. Peter in Parkersburg writes.
Hold on real quick.
Oh, it said P.S. It said he finishes. This is Bob in Clarksburg. P.S. He just goes, the Mothman, ! Sorry, I just wanted to see Brad have an anxiety attack. Mothman.
What do you got, Brad?
Thanks, Bob. Good email up until that point, or text. I was at an event last night, had a couple people mention the Jordan McCabe episode specifically. Very well received.
Oh, yeah.
Encourage people. Yeah, seriously, if you haven't heard it, go back and listen. He was excellent.
That and Eric Stevenson. Really was.
Just good insights.
By the way, Monday we've got Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk.com.
I'm sorry, who?
Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. He was supposed to be here today, but they called and said, we've got your Bryce Young interview at 1:30.
Better go with that.
I'd go with Bryce Young.
We got bumped for Bryce Young?
Yeah, we did.
You know, what you got from those two interviews with those former players is typically, no offense, all due respect, sports journalism is, what do you think of this game? What happened that game? What about the next game? What about this game? And maybe there's a feature. But when you talk to them at length, not just a soundbite, at length, Brad, and you get the stories, a little bit more about their life and how they got to where they are, what's happening behind the scenes, where their head was, you see more of the context. It is not just, it's not flat, it's dimensional, okay? Because normal sports is kind of dimensional. Had a good game, had a bad game. No, it's a lot deeper than that. And that's what you get from those interviews.
Yeah, and both of those guys, Stevenson and McCabe, they can articulate it well, too, so they understand it. And that's part of why I think, Eric, at some point down the road, he's got a pro career to go through. But I think Jordan McCabe, as soon as he starts down that path of skill development / coaching, I think he's going to be excellent. He's going to be great in that area. Both will. Peter
in Parkersburg writes, Spreads. This is for you. Where's my 8 in the Box podcast? I haven't won a wager in 3 months. Only thing keeping me going is a futures bet in hockey Sherapen recommended from February. What are you doing? Did you stop doing that?
Efforting. Contract negotiations.
You stopped doing it?
For the time being. It'll restart.
John in Phillipsburg.
He said efforting. That's all he needs to say.
Yeah, really, I don't need to give you more of an answer. Efforting. It'll be back.
John in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I've been counting down for the Penn State game since it was announced a decade ago.
Oh, don't do that.
I always said no matter what, I'll be at the game. However, my wife and I are expecting a second son to arrive just days before the game.
Bad planning.
The question is this. If the baby arrives before the game, do I make the trip with my buddies who are huge Penn State fans and have a great time for the weekend, or do I watch in my man cave with my sons and my wife? Signed by John in Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
Latter.
B.
You stay home.
Mm-hmm.
No question.
Not even a debate.
I'll give you one quick option on that. It all depends on your wife in the sense that there are some wives who might have support around them, like her mom or your mom might be there, and she'll go, dude, I got this, go. But if you feel any inkling whatsoever that she would be less than completely happy that you're gone, then you stay home.
Here, be careful of something
like this. How about
just
spend time with your son? It's your son. Stay with him. He doesn't need the wife needs help. Doesn't he spend time with your son. Stay home. Watch it.
Little kid ain't going to know he was there.
No. A good story, because when the boy is 18 and you're taking him to the game and you say, son, I watched the West Virginia Penn State game when you were 3 days old. You and I watched it together. Oh, you got a little bond. He won't remember it, but it's a...
Is that better than the converse where when they're watching it when they're 18, he says, son, now you won't remember this, but you were only 48 hours old. And I left you at home and I went to the game and you didn't get to see it, but I saw a great game with my college buddies.
And here's what be alert for this from the wife. If you want to go, it's okay.
Yeah. I get you. No, I'm with you. Okay.
Stay home.
Stay home. Texter, Scope Spreads Hoppy Cubed. I'm finishing my work assignment down under in Sydney, Australia. It is a great country, but I'm sad to report that during my time here, I've not found any place serving Courchevel. I'm told there's a distribution issue not related to the international rift between the United States and Australia caused by Tony.
Have to go to Foster's down there.
Australian football is in season now, and I've been watching footy matches, not games, extensively. These players are big and fast, and I can't get over the hard tackles with no pads. With the injury to Josiah Trotter, perhaps the Mountaineers should look down under for a backup linebacker. Also, the more I watch these matches, the more I'm struck by how well the players can catch the ball. They play with big, ugly, oblong balls that have to be hard to catch compared to an American football. We could find a receiver or two over here. Hope to come home for the spring game, but it's a long way from Sydney to Morgantown. I love the show. Paul from Fincastle. Hop, you ever been to Australia?
I have not.
Why?
That's a big
You'll
one.
go there.
Well, two things. One is that's a long one. That's a big one.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, that's a big trip. That's a long time to get there. It's a long way to go. It's expensive to get there. Also, in terms
now,
of...
this is from the guy that's going to Africa. Now, Australia.
Okay.
Australia's real far away. He's going to Africa.
And no offense to Australia.
All due respect, Australia.
Here we go.
Now we're going to have two of the three of us have offended the continent. Here we go.
With all due respect to Australia, of the many places you can go in the world, it's not very culturally deep. It hasn't been around that long. So there are many other places that culturally probably
This is not going well.
have a lot more to offer.
You think he hammers CPAs? What are you doing over there?
You just took a shot at the culture of a
Good luck with
continent.
customs when you get there. When you're going to want to go to Australia one day, and now this is going to come up. You're going to get detained. Well done. Not culturally relevant. Is that what you called them? Or culturally? What do you say? Not culturally deep. Hoppy Kercheval said that. I did not.
He walks there, goes into Melbourne, and says, "You guys got anything here older than 1930?"
It's
That's
probably didn't articulate
Move on.
that as well as I have.
Move on.
Now we got Oliver Straw in the transfer portal.
It's a good idea on a receiver or a linebacker. No chance now after Kercheval just attacked him.
Wow. Okay. JD from the Southern
Let
Coal.
me ask you.
Excuse me.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, don't ask him because he'll offend him as well. Just let's
Go ahead. Hit me.
He'll
Go
say
ahead.
something he shouldn't to.
What do you think has more? What country do you think has more to offer, Italy or Australia, in terms of a visit?
There's a lot of Italians in Australia, believe it or not. But Italy, I mean, it does.
Okay.
But I would love to go. I've only heard great things about Australia and great things about New Zealand,
Good
all
save.
that area. I'd love to go do that. I just don't have the time.
Good save for the podcast. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Brad, I don't
Well
have
done.
the vacation time.
Yeah.
Maybe
Got a show to do every day?
maybe some people do. Maybe some people do. Text her. Hey, three guys, I can't wait to hear about Tony's last meal.
Oh,
for God's
geez.
Sounds like a great idea as long as you weren't actually for real facing the hangman who could eat in that situation. Eating great food and drinking great drinks while you can still enjoy them sounds brilliant to me. It's not morbid. It's enjoying the best of the best while you're still lucid enough to appreciate such things. I'd like to know what each of you would have had for your final meal, whether you knew it was your last meal or not. I'll take pulled pork barbecue, but if my mom is listening, I'll go with her meatloaf, which is excellent. Signed by JD in the Southern Coalfield. So, we had our last supper.
Stop calling it that. Just say you got together with some guys and you had a great meal. Stop calling it what you're calling it. It's incredibly bad karma, and knock it off. So just call it the meal, and let's go with that. Now I'll talk about it all day long with you. Quit labeling it as you're labeling it.
I'm also maybe a little bit sacrilegious.
We had the Last Supper last Friday. It was absolutely off the chart, fantastic, and it became emotional.
What do you mean?
Because when you sat down to eat the meal, as you ate, you had to go around the table and explain what it was that you had prepared, why you prepared that, where you would like to have your last meal, and with whom you would love to have your last meal with. It was really, really good. It was really good. It brings out what you really, truly love. It was fantastic.
Did you say Joan?
Yeah, I said Christmas Eve.
Probably didn't call her by name, though.
My family.
My other one. It was Christmas.
Who shall not be Who shall not be named.
It was Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve at my parents' house with family. And my two foods that I made were both peasant food.
Pasta fajoule?
Yeah, beans and greens.
All right.
Cannellini
Pasta.
beans with escarole, breadcrumbs, cheese. It was fantastic. And chicken parmesan, which received this incredible rave from all my guys. My boy Dino,
Yeah.
you know what his was?
What?
His was T&L hot dogs.
What?
Yeah, T was his last meal. He wanted T&L hot dogs. So you know what happened when we got to it? We pulled up into his driveway. He had the T&L hot dog guy full cart, the umbrella and everything.
Really?
And you just go there and get whatever kind of dog you wanted. At one point, my plate, I had 2 plates. At one point, my plate was, it was a homemade fried chicken, a lamb chop, and a T&L hot dog. That was my second plate.
Wow.
That was really good.
See, I'd love to get in on this conversation, but I'm not because of the
Reason?
just my stance on the subject matter. But I'd really like to have this discussion.
I
Not
think,
under the current banner, though, that it's being couched as.
I think that mine would have to be something that would really make me sick, because then I'd think, oh, put me out of my misery.
No, it wasn't. You guys took it from the wrong perception.
Well, look, if you enjoyed it, that's fine. It does sound a little more.
I'll show you guys pictures later.
Okay.
Congratulations, Tony. My parents made me grow up in the backwoods of Preston County, no TV. So I have fond memories growing up listening to you call games on the radio. I still don't own a TV, but that is by choice these days. I also wanted to share this picture of my son Dawson and Burdette the chicken. Garrett in Alaska, where we just hit 50 degrees for the first time in 7 months. Look at that, cutie.
Where's the chicken?
Right between his legs. Little black chicken there.
Burdette the chicken.
Oh.
Burdette the chicken.
Burdette the
Well
chicken.
done.
Good to see him. Boy, that'll be some good wings in a couple of months.
Hey,
Texter.
Oh, that's a kid's chicken.
Not for long. Hey, 3 guys.
What's wrong with you?
Is there anything you see you don't think about eating? Like,
What are we doing?
what do you go into Lowe's like, what can we eat in here? Ridiculous. Always about like, what can we eat?
You guys are off to a great start. He offends the poor kid's baby chick, Burdette. You're killing a continent. Talking about last summer. I mean, this is ridiculous. What is happening?
Well, I didn't say I'd eat the boy's chicken.
Well, you just attacked the country for not being very culturally deep.
I just said there are other
It's
places.
offensive to hundreds of millions of people.
There's not hundreds of millions of people.
How many are there?
I'll check.
Oh, boy. The GI doctor wrote in, sent me a distribution list by Reese's product, percentage of peanut butter in each thing. You close to being right. The egg has the second most peanut butter. The heart actually has more peanut butter for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, remember, I was just shape versus regular
Right.
was the debate, not the individual shape.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the
egg?
effort.
You still go egg?
Yeah.
No, any shape. I am
Any shape.
available for any shape.
Okay.
I mean, I'll eat the regular ones too. But the shapes have quickly moved forward. If I was choosing and both are in front of me, you take the shape every time.
Texter, Chris in Nashville. At my office, I keep taking a page from Hoppy's playbook by making trips to the restroom so I can have an excuse to go to my coworker's desk and snag one of these. Best variant of the Reese's, hands down. Chocolate to peanut butter ratio is exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
Those are available at 3 Guys. No, they're not. They're available at Gomart. Go for Gomart. Sign up for our rewards card, gomart.com/3 Guys. Texter.
26 million people in Australia.
And you took a shot at him. Texter, rewind back to Rashid Marshall episode. Tony, how dare you laugh at Hoppy for mentioning how nice the parking situation is at WVU baseball games. It's noticeably nice to us common folk.
Yeah.
Parking
right.
at WVU football and basketball is a complete disaster. It makes me not even want to attend. Sure, it's no problem for folks with parking passes, but for the general public, it is a huge pain in the arse.
Thank you.
They talk about working on the fan experience. I know it's not easy, but fixing fan parking needs to be a priority. Thanks for listening to my rant. Probably should have just vented on Steam release, LOL. You guys are great. Your summer series always great. Looking forward to many more episodes. Thanks for the great entertainment week in, week out.
Real quick, that's a tremendous point. Well taken. But here's the thing. I think the texter had the wrong context there. We weren't taunting him for liking the available easy parking. We were taunting him for acting like the stadium opened the other day for the first time when he went. Dang thing's been there for a decade.
More than a decade, yeah.
Games all the time. And him just discovering that there was parking
Correct.
now is what the issue was.
Texter.
But I agree,
hey,
easy
Hoppy.
parking's a nice.
It is a nice touch.
Nice to have.
Fair point on your part.
Yeah, thank you.
Texter, if you were astonished, Hoppy, at the fact that at the baseball games you can get a seat, a beverage, and a hot dog, you'd just be transfixed with the Saturday nights at Gomart Ballpark, home of the Charleston Dirty Birds. Every Saturday at home, you can get the aforementioned, watch the game, and then after the game, watch a fireworks display. Hope you can get to a game
fireworks.
sometime.
I have to leave early, though, because of parking.
Yeah.
Now, all I was trying to do was to say that you could have a nice experience at the ballpark with a beverage, with a hot dog, with parking, and it was a nice experience. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you conveyed that message. You got that through.
Just receiving reconnaissance information here from our supplier. Guys, cans will sell out quick between tomorrow and the balance going through Chestnut Brew Works. So if you do want to get a can and you're not coming to the event, hit Chestnut Brew Works early. Texter. New league record for Kroger gamification. I filled up both vehicles. Look at that. For less than $1 total.
Oh, my gosh.
Looking forward to the festivities on Friday. So Charlie from Midlothian.
So he's gassed up and ready to arrive here.
16 gallons for 98 cents.
98 cents a...
He's coming tomorrow.
Wait a minute, 9 cents a gallon or 9...
Total, because he gets all those points, all the reward stuff. He knows how to... He beats the system.
Wait.
59 cents. No, I'm wrong.
5 cents a gallon?
No. He's paying 59 cents a gallon there. Does that look right, Brad? He's paying either 5.9 cents or 59 cents. And then the other one, he was paying like 98 cents a gallon for 16 gallons. Is that right? Anyway, he's going to be here tomorrow. Charlie from Midlothian's attending.
Awesome.
We're going to finally find out. We're going to put his butt up there and say, okay, how do you explain this?
Is he bringing fudge?
Is that the fudge guy? Charlie from Midlothian, was he the fudge guy?
Careful,
you guys have so much stuff.
Careful, Kroger might be here to find out how their system's getting scammed.
Texter, Ben and Scott Depot, great unexpected shout-out during a recent episode to my trial attorney, or my trial professor, Chuck DeSalvo. Fall semester, 88. Crew went almost to all the away games that undefeated season. We asked him if he could postpone a project due Monday. 4 of us were going to the ECU game. Long way from Morgantown. He replied, we could all simply take our books and study in the car. Great idea. We absolutely did not take him up on that and didn't study a lick. Scrambled back home Sunday, victory in hand, studied Monday. I have absolutely no memory of what project was or the grade I received, but I fondly remember every detail of that trip to that season. I love the show, and I love Professor Chuck DeSalvo.
Author of the book of the Young Gandhi.
Young Gandhi.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking of this, and you guys tell me when we need to go here, but Senator, you're on clock duty.
Yeah.
Chuck is one of those people, rare people. He just has a kind soul.
Yes.
And when you're around him, you just feel kind
good.
soul.
You feel good.
And
Yeah.
and you're around him, you just go like, why can't I be like that?
I think.
You know who else had that?
I think that says a lot about you.
You know who else I had that feeling with? Tony Dungy. I had a dinner with Tony Dungy at an FCA event in Beckley many years ago, and having dinner, I'm going like, why can't I act like that?
You know what? Because some people are just better than other people.
Why are you laughing, Senator?
I'm with you, and I would probably do the same. That's why I'm laughing. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
Jeez,
they're a better person.
Can some of that come on me? I mean, can you fill me a little bit of that? Texter, gentlemen, I just heard your 27-minute intro on the Gomart website with your 3 chipmunks, and I failed to hear anyone mention, but I'm assuming that it's a gopher because the slogan is go for good times, go for Gomart, go for Gomart. I'm just here to state the obvious. Signed, Curtis in Portland.
Good job,
Solid
Curtis.
point.
By the way, I just want to point out, Caridi's the one that said chipmunks. We didn't join in the chip. We quite frankly said it's not a chipmunk.
It didn't even resemble.
But thank you,
wasn't
Curtis, for
close
breaking
to
it down.
chipmunk.
It's not even, no.
Tony, longtime listener, every episode, first-time texter. I'm driving around Mooresville, North Carolina 2 weekends ago looking for the local Home Depot you frequent when my 6-year-old son says, I got to ask you a question, Daddy. Do you know what a Mothman is?
Oh, no.
I informed him that the Mothman lives in West Virginia. The guy on the show we're always listening to is friends with the Mothman. When questioned how a 6-year-old living in North Carolina knew who the Mothman was, he claimed that there was a book on him in his school's library. Luckily, Sharp Kid also reminded me that Mooresville is the world headquarters of Lowe's, and we don't have Home Depots. Signed, Pocahontas and Greenbrier County land and mineral rights owner. I've attached a picture of the first train since the flood of '85 to travel between, look at that, between Cass and Durban, passing through our farm in Pocahontas County, collapsing barn in the background for bonus points, signed Pete.
That's an awesome picture.
That looks like something that's an oil painting.
That's a great picture.
It is.
Look at the smoke on the reflection in the water.
Now, you've gone down there for the, is that where the train goes when you guys go down there for the Polar Express?
Yeah, Polar Express. Is that down there? Yeah, I think it is.
Texter, hey guys, hope it doesn't cost you too much hush money to leave the producer battered, bloodied, and left for dead on the floor within the first 8 seconds of your last episode. Way to soldier on. Taylor, Tyler, John F. Kennedy Airport, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, Consolidated, Kennedy. I know Hoppy has some farm days in his past, but I didn't realize he also has a PhD in zoology. The way he rapid-fired kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species like an M60 machine gun, you'd think he's teaching classes.
I don't know why I remember that.
Great interview with Jordan. I hope he can parlay it into some more social media dollars because it sounds like he's on the hook for the Clubman Diamond. With all the food talk on this show, I don't know if we've ever covered Cheez-Its. Bought a family-sized box, which has about 540 crackers 3 days ago. I don't even remember tasting them, but they're gone. Where do you guys have Cheez-Its on your Game Time snack rankings? I love the show.
Hi.
I can't do those. That cheese is, I don't do them
Too
well.
much? Too strong?
Yeah, too strong.
I wish it was like, I wish my head was like a hard drive so I could take out kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, take it out, put in something, make room for something else.
It's kind of like me with Latin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can still count to 10 in Latin, like unus, duus, tres, quatuor, quinquam, sextum, septum, octum, docum, I get to whatever. Decum is 10.
I didn't realize you said all that on the last episode. I wasn't listening very closely.
You weren't paying attention.
My bag.
Sean in Charleston, first-time texter, regular listener to your stupid podcast. I thought I'd share this picture of myself enjoying a Kirchville, tapping St. Albans. Good beer. Anyway, it looks like Hugs has finally embraced the portal. I see he's making progress with the roster by using it. I love listening to you guys, and I own some land in Kanawha County. Hey, buddy.
Good one,
People,
Sean.
Good to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Sean.
People enjoying a nice Kirchville.
Texter. 3 guys, last episode you mentioned Touchdown City back in 1990 and 9. I had a Touchdown City hat, my favorite hat. I took it off during a movie to make it easier to sneak some kisses from my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and I accidentally left it at the Ohio Valley Mall Theater.
Fail.
Never found, and over the last 24 years, my wife and I have looked for a replacement, no success. Why did this moniker get retired? Did the senator have something to do with this when he was working in the department? Signed by Matt and Tulsa. No, Touchdown Tailgate guys, if you guys still do the hat, let's get a hat. Let's get it to this guy. Texter. Scope spreads Dean. Couldn't help but snicker at this one, so I had to share it with 3 guys. Even one of the biggest news organizations in the world, reporting on the biggest story, lists their updates for everyone in the country. And look, Eastern Time.
Yep.
Beat Pitt, not Charlie in Charleston. Boom.
The Big 12 is the last remaining organization that doesn't acknowledge Eastern Time. It's unbelievable.
I tell you what, I don't know. I doubt he's coming. Next time I see the commissioner, I'm
It is true. It is true.
Hey, guys, Gail from Martinsburg with a few random observations. Thoroughly enjoying the summer series. Eric, Rashid, Jordan, phenomenal guest. And they've set a high bar for those following. Although I don't own hunting property and I have no claim to mineral rights anywhere, I do pass this dilapidated barn in the field on my way to work every day. Deer and turkeys frequently sighted in said field. It's almost as good as having a camp and I don't have to pay the taxes. I, too, owned a Chevy Chevette back when I commuted to Shepherd every day for 4 years in that car. Stick shift, challenge at first, but I eventually found the sweet spot with that clutch and the gas. Didn't stall out, had to wait my turn at a 4-way stop at Duke and German Streets.
I know it.
Car had over 100,000 miles on it when we finally sold it. I'm wishing you the very best this event Friday. Hopefully Hoppy has such a good time that he actually brings the whole entourage to the Eastern Panhandle to share some Kirchville and barbecue with us. I love the show. You guys brighten my day.
We should do a
Thanks,
show
Gail.
at the Bavarian.
Efforting. Is this the last one, Senator?
Yeah.
Texter. Laura from Cincinnati via Mineral County. Thought I'd add that in. I know you guys appreciate all sports at WVU, and I thought I'd highlight the WVU English equestrian team. My daughter, Joelle, and her teammates won their region and made it to the zones. Quite an accomplishment. They competed recently, Saratoga Springs, New York, against some elite private colleges. They will not lead to nationals. They will not head to the nationals. However, as the little video clip shows, despite where they placed, they all had smiles and sang our favorite song when leaving the horse show. Thanks for sharing. Love the summer series. So there you go. Congratulations to the equestrian team up there at Saratoga Springs. That is a rather snooty country. I'm glad you represented a public state land-grant institution rather than those private little snot bags that were probably given equestrian lessons from the time that they were toddlers.
Excellent.
So there you go.
Congrats.
Was there 2 pictures on that, Taylor? I thought there was a – yeah, there. Look, guys.
Yeah.
There they are.
Good for
Yeah.
them.
So there you go. Well known. So that's it for now. I'm going to save the rest of these and use them in another show.
We got to get ready for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Got an event. Got to hurry. Got to go somewhere.
Hate to run.
You're coming with us, by the way.
Excuse me?
You're coming with us.
We're doing this thing now.
We're doing it now.
You're
coming with us.
Johnny.
Okay.
3 guys. I'll drive. 3 guys before the game brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales, largest pontoon boat dealer in West Virginia. Visit them at Lou Wendell Marine Sales.
Will lunch be served?
.com. No, but there will be some.
You might have a Kirch-Avail, though.
3 guys. Also reminding you, check out the 46th anniversary. The 46th anniversary sale happening this weekend at Burdett Camping Center in Winfield. Make Phil, the owner, say no. They're ready to deal. If you're in the market, now is the time. The warranty forever. BurdettCamping.com. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Visit them at ComaxWV.com. And by Gomart. Go for good times. Go for Gomart. Go to Gomart.com/3guys.com. Back on Monday with Mike Florio from ProFootballTalk.com. We'll regale you with the stories of our live events. And you'll see stuff on social media over the weekend. Thanks to our producer, Taylor County, Tyler Consolidated, Kennedy. We be out. Episode 750. Was it 8? 7? 8?
Ish.
It wasn't 760.
See y'all Friday night. Can't
See you,
wait.
man. Be good.